friends, welcome back to the channel. So we're doing another book haul today, and usually I don't like to put my book hauls too close together on the channel. I very rarely do them at the beginning of the month. It's usually kind of partway through the month. However, I am off work this week and I really want to clean and organize the shelves, and I have a whole bunch of books that need to be put away and we need to decorate for fall and the whole thing. So I wanted to haul these books quickly with you guys, number one, because I want to get them put on the shelves and organized, and number two, because I found a really rare book and it's kind of part of a whole story, so I wanted to share that with you guys as well because I was so excited to find this. So I know you guys, especially anybody who loves vintage horror, is going to be super happy for me. So let's start with the vintage books. So I have a stack of Goosebumps books that I found at a local secondhand shop, and all of the books were like, say, between $2 and $4, and it looks like either one or a couple of people came in and dropped off like every single Goosebumps that they had. So I had to snag the ones that I still needed for my collection, and I was super happy because there are ones in here that are later on in the series, and if you know anything about collecting Goosebumps books, the later books are getting really hard to find because some of them, they only printed, you know, one edition or one run of them because they were starting to lose popularity. So I was super happy to find these, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. Okay, so here they are. So like I said, I found these at a local secondhand shop, and I was so happy. I think I logged in on the day that they came in because I try to check my local bookstores if they have an online catalog. I try to check them fairly frequently because, you know, these vintage horrors or vintage 90s books are kind of becoming a pretty big thing, and people are getting excited to collect them and other people are excited to get rid of them. So I kind of have to jump on it fairly quickly when I do see them. So really excited. I think most, if not all of these, are first printings. I think there's only one in here that's not a first printing, and they're all in fantastic shape. I think there's only one that has a name on the inside cover, and I think I can get rid of it fairly easily. And unfortunately, they do put their sticker on the back, so I'll have to get the stickers off as well. So first up here, we have Goosebumps number 15, You Can't Scare Me. So this is one of the earlier ones that I needed for the collection. And the other thing that I'm keeping an eye out for is to make sure that they are the earlier editions and not the reprints that have the different covers. So while there's nothing wrong with that, and if that's what you have in your collection, that's great. It's just that these are the ones that I grew up with. So the ones that have the embossed Goosebumps on the front and they actually have the little bumps on them. Just feeling that is very nostalgic for me. So that is You Can't Scare Me. And then one of the more popular ones, One Day at Horrorland. And probably this one, The Haunted Mask and Welcome to Dead House, are the most popular ones. So I'm really surprised that I didn't have this one in my collection yet. So in really great condition. I mean, these books came out, this one's 1994. So, I mean, I was only 12 when this book came out. So considering how old it is, these are in pretty great condition. So happy with that. And then next we have The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and I love, this is one of my favorite covers in the Goosebumps series. It says, it's a field of screams, and there's just something about, I don't know, an abandoned cornfield with a scarecrow and just the whole ambiance of it. I absolutely love it. I think maybe it comes from my love of Sleepy Hollow, the 90s movie with Johnny Depp. And of course they're in the carriage and going past the field and you have the sinister scarecrow. So I think that's where it stems from, is my whole love of scarecrows and fields. And then this one is number 58. So we're getting into the ones that are a bit later. So here, I don't think I told you the numbers. So we have 15, 16, and 20. So these ones are fairly common to find. But once you get into the high 50s and the 60s, of course there's 62 books in the original series, they are getting really hard to find. So this one is number 58, Deep Trouble 2. And it says on the front here, Great Ghouls Goosebumps on Saturday morning on Fox Kids Network. So it's got a little plug for the show, the original Goosebumps show. I think they only have a couple of episodes here on Netflix Canada of the original Goosebumps series. It's so cheesy and so wonderful. I just absolutely love it. So next we have number 59. So this is The Haunted School. And again, it has the little plug for the show on the bottom here. And I love the cover of this one too. So this one, I mean, somebody definitely kept these on a shelf and like didn't move them, because this still, you could still feel the gloss of the coating on the paper stock on the covers. So this is a first printing from 1997. So we're starting to get into the later ones with these. So happy I found that. And then the pièce de résistance. I found Monster Blood 4. But here's the thing. This is Monster Blood 4 with the trading cards intact on the inside. And this book, like, it feels like it's brand new. Like, it feels like I just walked into an Indigo or Chapters and like literally just bought this book. So there's no creases. The corners are completely straight. Somebody definitely kept this on a shelf. This is a first printing from December of 1997. And like I said, it still has those trading cards on the inside. So the story behind this one, so this is number 62 in the series. This is the most rare Goosebumps book to find, because by the time we were getting into the later years and the later editions of the books, they were starting to get, you know, run out of popularity. And I mean, the story itself probably isn't great. I actually haven't read it, and I don't plan on reading this book because it's in perfect condition. But the whole story behind this, so I found this for $4, and if you know, Monster Blood 4 in first, like, you know, I believe there was only one printing done anyway, in great condition with the trading cards intact. You know, you're gonna pay probably over $100 to get this book off of eBay or anywhere like that. So number one, I got it for $4. And then when I went into, so I bought these online through a local bookstore, and when I went in, it actually said 2 available. And so I bought both. So the reason why I did that is because not only are these the most rare Goosebumps that you can find, but I wanted to make sure that I got the one that was in the best condition. It had no names or scribbles or creases or whatever. So I was like, for the sake of the extra $4, I'm gonna get the other one as well. And I'm glad I did, because only one of these has the trading cards intact. So I ended up with both of them. And really, like I said, really happy I made that decision. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the other copy. I think I've decided, because I was like, do I do a giveaway? Do I, you know, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. Keep it, whatever, as an extra copy. But I think what I'm going to do, since this is in such perfect condition and it is such a rare book, is I'll just put a call out here, and I'm gonna do the same thing on my Instagram. I'm gonna use it for a trade. So if anybody out there has, if you have a book in one of the 90s vintage, you know, series or whatever that you think I might like, or that you know that I don't have for the collection, please reach out and let me know, and I will gladly send you the other copy of Monster Blood 4 if you need it for your own collection. So of course it'll be the edition without the trading cards. The one with the trading cards, of course, I'm going to keep for my own collection, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep the other one for a trade. And like I said, if you're a collector yourself, any other booktubers on here, please reach out to me either through my email below in the description box or over on Instagram if you think you have a book that I might like for my collection and is comparatively rare as the Monster Blood 4. So because this is, you know, this is the Goosebumps book. So I was so happy that I found those, and I mean 2 copies, that's absolutely crazy. So between the $8 for both of them, one of them has the trading cards intact. I was absolutely blown away when I got those in the mail. So that was great. It was a nice birthday surprise. I got it, you know, like a week or so after my birthday, and I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. So lots of Goosebumps to put in the collection, and like I said, these are in fantastic condition. I'm so pleased with them. Ugh. And my allergies have been so bad lately. Like, I've been like overdosing on decongestants and nasal sprays and stuff, trying to keep my sinuses clear. This summer has been really bad. So of course I got my compulsory cranberry juice for when I'm shooting videos. So this is a cran pomegranate, which has been my favorite lately. I don't know, cranberry juice is such a polarizing thing. Either you love it or you hate it. So I love cranberry juice. It's the little things, you know, it's the little things that make you happy, especially when you don't drink alcohol. I feel like an adult when I'm drinking cranberry juice. So anyway, moving on from the vintage stuff into the newer books that I got, I did do a little bit of a haul through Book Outlet, and Book Outlet Canada, I have to say, has been really great. I found a lot of good books on there. They always come in amazing condition. And now, because I believe there was twice, I actually sliced through covers of books when I was opening the carton, and now they have the big pull tab on there that you can open. So that's been fantastic, because I think maybe I wasn't the only one who was slicing through books that they had ordered. So I got a whole bunch out of the Creepover series. So I have the first 4 books in the Creepover series. It seems so cute. Nope, I have the first 5 in the Creepover series, because I remember in my birthday haul, I did haul number 5, because I spoke to you guys about it. So Book Outlet had a bunch of the other ones. So we're getting up there. We're getting a good collection going of the Creepover, and I really want to sit down and read these at some point. They look so cute. If you've read the Creepover series and you enjoy kids horror or middle grade horror, let me know down below in the comments. But one thing that kind of affects my brain a little bit is that one of the covers is white and all of the other covers are either black or dark. So that kind of sucks, but it is winter themed. So starting off, we have number 10. It's all downhill from here. So that's the one with the white cover. So obviously a winter theme. We have number 11, Don't Drink the Punch. And if you guys didn't see on my last video, these books have a creepometer on the back, so it tells you how scary the story is based on, you know, I guess using their own scale. So this one is number 4. I don't think I've found one that's way up on number 5 yet. This one's on the low end of number 4. This one's on the high end of level 4, number 4. And then we have, oh, that's the wrong way. And then we have number 14, Off the Walls. So this looks like they're in a museum. There's a mummy on there. And this is on the low end of level 4. So it seems like most of the books are up around number 4. So we have number 15, and I love the cover on this one. It's very Wednesday Addams. It says Home Sweet Haunt. So we have a ghost girl flying here, and she's got her Wednesday Addams dress on. So I mean, haunted house, Wednesday Addams, this one was right up my alley, so that one's really cute. And then we have number 16, The House Next Door. So this one looks to be another haunted house one, and that one is on level 4 as well. We have number 17, Your Worst Nightmare. And oh, look at that. This one must be one of the scariest ones in the collection. So that one's way up on number 5. So Never Sleep Again. So excited to read that one when I get there. And then we have number 20, Will You Be My Friend? And this one is way down on number 3, level 3 for the creepometer. So this one looks like it's a ghost in a hospital. Maybe she never left. So I was super excited to get these, more of the Creepover books, and I love how they have the black sprayed edges. It's so cute. It just looks like it's very wholesome and spooky, creepy, cozy, you know, that sort of thing, which is right up my alley. So like I said, hopefully sometime soon. I don't know if I can fit it into this year because I've already started so many of my vintage series, but I would like to start the Creepover series at some point. They look super, super cute. And then I got one that was part of a series that I'm actually rereading right now. I've talked about this series several times on the channel, the Last Apprentice series by Joseph Delaney. It's also known as the Spooks Apprentice in the UK. I don't know why they changed the names of things when it comes over to North America. I have no idea. Like, what was the problem with calling it the Spooks Apprentice here as well as in the UK? Can somebody explain that? Let me know down below if you guys have any idea why they do that. So I have, I believe, the entire series except for this one book. So this is book number 9, Grimalkin, the Witch Assassin. So if you've never read this series, like I said, I talk about it quite often. It's about Tom Ward, who is the 7th son of a 7th son. So he is eligible to become a spook. So a spook is a man who lives in a particular county. So these take place kind of in, I don't know if it would be medieval times or like, could be like 18th, 19th century sort of thing. A lot of farmland, candles, you know, very olden days kind of setting. It doesn't say when it takes place, but very much during that time. And so Tom becomes the apprentice of the local spook. And the spook is someone who lives in the county and they deal with everything from the dark. So if you have a problem with witches or boggarts or ghasts or ghosts or whatever like that, and in each book, obviously it's a series, so it takes place, you know, along a timeline. But in each book they're battling a different demon from the dark. And I have to say, for a middle grade series, this can be quite sinister. It's, some places in these books are like, oh my god, like that's a middle grade book? Like, I enjoy them as an adult. I think they're really spooky. They're not overly scary, but I do have to say that some of them can be quite sinister in places, and they're a great kind of horror fantasy adventure, I guess I would describe it, because they're dealing with all kinds of demons. So you have that horror element, you have the fantasy, and because there's magic and all of that sort of thing, and you know, there's adventure because they just travel around and they're dealing with different things from the dark. So this was book number 9. I have the rest of the series is over here on the shelf, so I was so happy to get that one. And I think there was another one that I had, that because my entire collection is the softcover, and I ended up getting the hardcover of one book and it's driving me nuts. It's absolutely driving me nuts, so I had to replace that one as well. But I was so happy to get this one because I am rereading this series right now. I'm on book number 4 and I'm enjoying it so much. It's a great little series. If you have baby bats at home that are around the middle grade age range, give this one a try. It's a really great little series. Okay, so we have a couple of books, Mary Downing Hahn books, and she is such a fantastic writer, and you know, this is very much probably middle grade into YA, mostly ghost stories. So she writes some great stories, and I have a lot of her books already, but there are some that I'm missing. So this is The Girl in the Locked Room, and I love the cover on this book. You know, it's just the silhouette of a girl that's standing in kind of an abandoned house, and it says on the back here, "A girl is locked in a room in an old abandoned house. She's been hiding there for more than 100 years. Another girl, Jules, arrives at the ruined house and sees a pale face in the upstairs window. Who's up there, she wonders, behind a locked door." So that's that one, and that is very much, all of Mary Downing Hahn's books are very much along the same lines as that. So this one is Closed for the Season, and it says on the bottom here, winner of the Edgar Award for Best Juvenile Mystery. So that sounds pretty good. And it says, the weather-beaten sign on the gate of the magic forest says, "Closed for the season." but when the boys ride up to it on their bikes, Arthur tells his new friend Logan that the old amusement park hasn't been open for years. The overgrown park looks sinister, even in broad daylight, so Logan is reluctant to go inside. But Arthur urges him on. He's sure they'll uncover important clues to a mystery that they're trying to solve. Who killed Myrtle Donaldson, and what happened to the money she handled as the head bookkeeper at the Magic Forest? So murder mystery actually wound into that one, so that one sounds pretty good. And then I also have, and I love the cover on this, it's so simple, but it's very sinister. So this is All the Lovely Bad Ones, and we just have like these little Mary Jane, like little girls' shoes on the front, and like I said, very, very sinister, and it has tombstones in the background, and it says on the back, "Buried secrets don't stay buried. Travis and his sister Corey are thrilled to be spending the summer at their grandmother's remote Vermont inn. The inn at Fox Hill has a history of ghost sightings. What could be more exciting than seeing a ghost?" And it has more there, but that's just a glimpse of what this is about. So another ghost story here, and it always says on the front if it's a ghost story. So this one is a mystery, and it doesn't have that on there. So lots of Mary Downing Hahn. I have a lot of her on my shelf as well. Haven't gotten to her books in a long, long time, and I'm so excited to have more of these to add to the collection. And then this next book I didn't even know existed. So this is called Red Rain by R.L. Stine, and never heard of it, don't know anything about it, had no idea it even existed, like I said. So just the little thing, just the little blurb on the front here is all I needed to know, and that's all I'm going to read to you. So it says, "Shocking, terrifying. Keep this book far, far away from your kids." So R.L. Stine has kind of broken out of his, you know, kid and middle grade and YA horror for this book, and I want to go into it blind. That's all I needed to know was from this little blurb on the front cover, and I didn't even know what it was when I bought it off of Book Outlet, because I saw it was by R.L. Stine as something I hadn't heard of before, and it was in the adult section, which I thought was really insane. So happy to have it. The only thing is that the type is a little bit tiny, which I hate. I have really, really bad eyes. So hopefully I can get through that. If not, I'll find it on a digital copy, hopefully, but really, really excited to have something a little bit different from R.L. Stine in the collection. So next we have an adult thriller, There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. And it says here that it is a Netflix film. So I know nothing about this, know nothing about the show or the movie. So if you've read this one, let me know if you enjoyed it. I'm kind of funny with thrillers. Some I really, really like because it's, you know, it's horror adjacent and it's fast paced and page turning and the whole thing. Sometimes they have like a whole lot of other junk that's thrown in and it kind of takes me out of the story. But this one sounds pretty good. So it says, it's been almost a year since Makami Young came to live with her grandmother, and she's still adjusting to her new life in rural Nebraska. Then one by one, the students of her high school began to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. As the body count rises and the terror grows closer, will Makami survive the killer's twisted plan? So that sounds pretty good. I thought it was adult. I thought I got it in the adult section, but maybe it was YA. So we'll have to see how that one goes, because we all know how I feel about YA. Some of them I love, and some of them I can't take it. I actually just recently DNF'd a YA book earlier this week, actually. So that'll be coming in my wrap up at the end of the month. But we'll give this one a go. Seems like a little bit of a murder mystery, so excited for that one. Oh, and this one is another one from a series that I forgot to tell you guys about. So this is Fright Watch the Collectors by Lorian Lawrence, and this is book number 2 in the Fright Watch series. So I'm not going to read anything from the back because I don't want to spoil anything for the first book. But this is a middle grade horror or spooky book, and it gets a lot of really rave reviews. I actually haven't read the first one yet, but I was so happy. I try to tell myself don't buy the next books until you read the first one, but this one, it's just so cute and it sounds like it's so much fun that I went ahead and I picked up the second one. Because the other thing is too, if you read the first one and you want to jump right into the second one, then I don't have it. So at least I have it here. I'm going to stick it on the shelf. Not sure when I'm going to get to these because I'm reading kind of so many series already. So I'm going to stick it on there. It looks really cute though. So we've got a couple of kids that look like they're hiding in a cemetery, and it has a whole bunch of ghosts here. So the cover is great. The series sounds great. Like I said, it's getting lots of great reviews. So check out the Fright Watch series by Laurie and Lawrence. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it too if you like that middle grade kind of spooky book. All right, getting back on track here. So this is a book that I've seen a few times on Book Outlet, and I never picked it up, but I was watching somebody on Instagram and they said it was one of their favorite haunted house or spooky house stories. So this is The Invited by Jennifer McMahon, and it's a big book. It's definitely large. The font is pretty good in there though, so that's good. And I think it's fairly popular for a thriller. So just on the inside flap here, it says, a chilling ghost story with a twist. The New York Times best-selling author of The Winter People, oh, I've heard about that one too, that's why I know the name, returns to the woods of Vermont to tell the story of a husband and wife who don't simply move into a haunted house. They build one. So that's all I needed to know about that one. I mean, everybody knows my love of haunted houses. So if there's a haunted house book out there, I'm probably going to read it. So really excited to have this one in the collection. I'm hoping it's going to be a page turner. That's the thing, like I said, with thrillers and with haunted house books. Sometimes they have a whole lot of other junk in there. They have a whole lot of I don't know, other storylines that are wound in. There was one that I read earlier this year called Beneath the Stairs, I think, and it had a great premise from what it said on the inside flap, and then the book was a total flop for me. So high hopes for The Invited by Jennifer McMahon. And next we have, so I was so excited for this book to come out. So this is The Smashed Man of Dread End by J.W. Ocker. And I read last year 12 Nights at Rotter House, and I loved it. And it was one of those books, I read it and, you know, I was like, oh yeah, you know, that was pretty good. It was a good book. But it's one of those ones that every now and again I'll think about it and I'm like, I really like that book. I really, really liked it. So it's like the star rating that I gave it at the time, I think I gave it like 3.5 stars, and it doesn't even really match what I'm thinking about the book now, because if a book sticks with you like that, you know it was good and you know you enjoyed it. So really, really like 12 Nights at Rotter House, and I've been excited to read more of J.W. Ocker's work. I've got a couple of books that I want to put into my TBR for spooky season as well. But this one is The Smashed Man of Dread End. So this is a middle grade book. And it says, No, who is the main character, N-O-E, No knew this was no ordinary night terror. This time the monster was real. Any moment now, its hands would be free. And then after that, its legs. And then it would be out of the crack in the wall. Oh, there's a sticker in the way. Ah! And who knew what would happen after that? From what I know of this book, this girl, No, moves into a house in a small town, and basically everyone tells her don't go into the basement, so of course they go into the basement, and like there's this whole monster and everything. So this is the first I've heard of night terrors being in this book, and that's really interesting because even as an adult I have night terrors, which I know is really rare. Usually it's only kids who have that, but my brain is absolutely effed. I have no idea how my brain works, honestly. But super, super excited for this because, like I said, I love J.W. Ocker's writing so much, and I've had a little taste of his adult book, and now I've got a middle grade. So super, super excited to get this one, and it was like $3 or something, so that's great. So this is a new book. I haven't heard of this book. I have never heard of this author before, so this is totally new. I'm gonna butcher this name. T.L. Huchu, The Library of the Dead. So like I said, never heard of this book before. Haven't heard of the author, but it sounds like it has a pretty good premise. So it says, when ghosts talk, she will listen. Does it have a synopsis here? Here we go. It's on the first page here. Ropa dropped out of school to become a ghost talker, and she now speaks to Edinburgh's dead, carrying messages to those they left behind. A girl's got to earn a living, and it seems harmless enough. Until, that is, the dead begin to whisper that someone's bewitching children, leaving them husks, empty of joy and life. It's in Ropa City, so she feels honor-bound to investigate. But what she learns will change her world. She'll dice with death, not part of her life plan, discovering an occult library and a taste for hidden magic. She'll also experience dark times, for Edinburgh hides a wealth of secrets, and Ropa's gonna hunt them all down. So that sounds pretty good. I can't remember if I found this in the adult section or in the YA section, but anything that says it has an occult library and ghosts, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, you guys know I'm gonna buy it, right? So that sounds really good. I'm gonna look it up on Goodreads and see kind of if this author has any more horror books out, or thrillers, whatever you want to call it. You know, horror, and I know this is up for debate, but horror to me is, I love horror and I love everything horror adjacent, so I'm probably going to refer to this as horror if it has an occult library and ghosts in it. So that's just me, that's just the way I refer to these things. And this one was actually one of my most anticipated releases. I haven't done them for a while, but my most anticipated releases of each month. Because last year I tried to do my anticipated books for the whole year, but then of course the release dates kept getting bumped, and there were more books that were coming up that I didn't even know about, so I started doing them monthly, and then it just kind of fell off. But a couple of months ago I did feature this book in one of those most anticipated lists. So this is the Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook, and this sounds really, really good. So it says, 2 sisters go missing on a remote Scottish island. 20 years later, one is found, but she's still the same age as when she disappeared. The secrets of witches have reached across the centuries in this chilling gothic thriller from the author of the acclaimed The Nesting. So that sounds pretty good. That's really all I need to know about it. And so yeah, I haven't heard much in reviews for this book. I've heard it on a couple of people's most anticipated lists, myself included, like I said, but haven't heard much about the book since it's come out. So really happy I found it in Book Outlet, and like I said, it was only a couple of bucks. So really excited to throw this one on the TBR pile, and hopefully I'll get to it sooner rather than later, but I say that for everything. Alright, so I don't know if I'll be able to, but kind of feel like I want to read these books now, like since we're in the summer. So this is Camp Murderface by Josh Burke and Sandra Mitchell. Swim Test is a killer. So this is a camp horror, like a summer camp horror, and it says the year 1983, so I'm hooked. Totally hooked. It's taking place in the 80s. The place, Ohio. The camp, scary as heck. The place is haunted, he says, not looking at me. He stares deep into the distance. Haunted is just another word for magical, I say. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna have to use that. Haunted is just another word for magical, I say. He locks eyes with me. Haunted is just another word for evil. Oh my goodness, this sounds so good. Sounds so good. So I bought the second one too. So I think I might put these in before the end of the summer, because it seems to fit so well with right now. It is hot. It is hot as heck, and I can't wait for summer to be over, because you guys all know that I hate summer. But these sound so super cute, and I read Fat Camp by James Sabata last summer, and it took place around, obviously, a fat camp, and these boys that went, and it was a great slasher story. So I feel like I might get the same feels with these ones. I love anything that has to do with the wilderness and stuff like that, and just going back to that time when you're a kid, and I was a camp counselor when I was growing up as well. So I think I might put these in before the end of the summer. We'll see how that goes. And then changing gears completely, I bought this book to accompany a podcast that I'm actually listening to right now. So this is In the Shadow of the Red Brick Building by Raymond, Tony, Charlie. So Ray is an Indigenous survivor of the Indian residential school system here in Canada, and he, I believe, was at 2 of the residential schools. And so he's authored his experiences of what happened to him in these residential schools. It was a horrible system. It was a complete genocide, and as most of you know, we're still finding the graves of the children that were buried and nobody knew about. So the Indian residential school is something that affects me very deeply, and so I'm listening to a podcast right now that's called Kuper Island, and it's about a specific residential school that's out in BC, and Raymond, Tony, Charlie actually went to that school as well, and he's featured in the podcast. So since I was listening to that, I've actually had to take a break from it for a little while because it's so harrowing. So you want to talk about horror, like this is real life horror. This is not your monsters and goblins and ghouls and ghosts and everything that are in my other books. And I think it's so important to learn about these things because it's a part of Canadian history, and it's something that a lot of people are still dealing with generational trauma. So I'll leave the podcast name down below in the description as well. And I wanted to not only support this author, but hear about his stories right from his own mouth. And this is probably goes a little bit deeper into his own experiences rather than what they just have in the podcast, because the podcast deals with that specific school as a whole and a really terrible situation that happened with another student. So bought this to accompany that, and I'm actually doing a 12-week course right now on Indigenous life experience here in Canada. And so I thought it all kind of went together, to supplement my own learning of the residential school system and what being Indigenous Canada means and the life experience and living in a settler society. So I'll let you guys know how this goes, and I know I'm going to have a really, really difficult time reading this, just like I'm having a difficult time listening to that podcast. So hoping to get to this very, very soon. It's really short. It's only just over 100 pages, and like I said, I'll let you guys know how that goes, and the podcast name is down below as well if you wanted to listen to it also. So there you guys go. That is my book haul. I've hauled so many books lately between what Kelsey sent up and my birthday haul and then this one. So I got a lot of books I got to get put away. So tomorrow actually I'm going to be not reorganizing the shelves, but just giving them a little bit of a clean and decorating them for Halloween. And I'm super, super excited to do that. And I can add all of my new books to their respective shelves. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or comment down below because I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky everybody. Bye.